All right, so the first one is pretty easy, right? Oops. Oops. All right, first one we're going to plug in -2 for x, right? All right, so g of -2 is equal to 4 times 3 raised to the -2 power. You can put that in your calculator exactly the way you see it, right? But if you wanted to deal with the -2, right, it becomes 3 over raised to the second power. That's how we make negative exponents positive, by taking its reciprocal. And then that's equal to 4 over 9, which is choice number 3. Okay? When you raise to a power, you're multiplying. So this is x to the -4 times -1 times 6, right? And if you do all those, this becomes x to the 24th power, which was 4. All right, this one is 1 over x to the 2/3, right? Because you have to change to the reciprocal, right? So you have to put 1 over x raised to the 2/3. Now, the number in the denominator is the little number out here. It's the third root, right? So it's x to the second power, or x squared, right? Raised to the third root, okay? And you have to put a little 1 here, right? So it's 1 over that. So this is choice 1. Number 4 was really, really interesting, right? So you had to go one way and then come back the other way, right? When we do decreasing, what do we do with the rate? Right? We have to subtract it and raise it to the power, right? So we have to subtract 0.04 raised to the 8th power. This becomes 0.96 raised to the 8th power, which is 0.721389. And now you got to change it back. That's the percent that's left. They want to know the percent decrease, right? So that's the percentage that's left. The part that decreased, we have to take this and subtract. So you do 1 second function answer, and you're going to subtract 0.72 because you don't have to put all those numbers back in. And then it became 0.2786. So we're going to change it to a percentage. We're going to move that over. So it's number 2, 27.9%. Any questions on those? All right. Part 2, right? There's going to be a similar base. It's either going to be base 3, base 4, base 2, base 3, base 4, base 5. Okay? Once you get to 6, it's kind of sloppy, right? Unless it's 6 squared. Anybody know what 6 to the 3rd is offhand? Nah, nobody knows. 36 times 6? You've got to carry a 3. 216? All right, but anyways, let's change these to, this is 5 to the 2nd power, right? Raised to the x minus 4. This one, 1 over 25 is 5 to the -3rd power, right? If we want it in the numerator, it's in the denominator. We're going to put, now we have common bases, raised to the 2x minus 1. Since we have a common base of 5 and a common base of 5, now we could set the exponents equal. What happens when you raise an exponent? What do? You multiply them. So now we can make an equation. 2 times x minus 4 is equal to -3 times 2x minus 1. 2x minus 8, -6x plus 3. All right. I added 6x to both sides. right? This becomes 8x minus 8 is equal to 3. Then I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 8x is equal to 8, 9, 10, 11. Divide by 8, divide by 8. So x is equal to 11 over 8. All right. Find the equation, right? So you're going to have to find the equation tomorrow, given 2 points. So I like to do this one first. 9, 42. Right, this way when I subtract my exponents, when I divide, right, this is a times b raised to the 9th power. When I subtract them, I'll have a positive exponent. The second equation from 3, 8 becomes 8 is equal to a times b raised to the 3rd power, right? So now I'm going to divide these. Divide this side, divide that side. This becomes 6. Oh, no, this becomes... See, I did that first when I was doing it myself, and I was like, whoa. Whoa, what's wrong with me? All right, this is 5.25 is equal to, the a's cancel out, and then it's 9 minus 3. A lot of people, when we were walking around the other day, divided those. Don't divide those. Right, you subtract when you're dividing bases with the same bases with exponents. So this is b to the 6th, right? So to get rid of b to the 6th, I have to raise this to the 1/6, right? Because if I multiply it, then I have just b. If I raise this to the 1/6, I get 1.318 ... Leave that in your calculator. We're going to need it in a second, right? So we have b. Just leave all those decimals in there. Now we're going to plug in one of the points with that b, right? So I'm going to take 8. I'm going to use 3, 8. Right? So 8 is equal to a. We're finding this 1.318 ... that you have in your calculator raised to the 3rd, right? So now you have that in your calculator. All you do is use the raise button, and it'll say ANS, and raise to the 3rd, right? So you have 8 is equal to A. This became what? 2.2912 ... Now we're going to divide by 2. Keep that number, that long decimal in your calculator. 2.2912. So now you're going to put in your calculator, in the next line, you're going to put the 8 in, right? Put 8 in, and then you're going to do second answer, and it'll put in this long 2.222 thing. So A ended up being 3.4914 ... It almost looks like pi, but it's not. So now it says to the nearest hundredth. So to 3.449. B is 1. 1.32. Now, on the homework, a lot of people got a half a point off. There was one there with 256, and I forgot what that was A, and I forgot what B was. But they left it just A and B. They didn't put it into this form. I mean, that's like going all the way to the AAA baseball and not making it to the majors, right? That means you get this close to your dream, right? And then it's like Mr. Siegel when he was 18. He went to play hockey in Canada, and nothing ever happened. He just ended up coming home and being an old man in a old man league. 1.32 raised to the x power, right? You have to put it in. That was the original question. Put it in this function, right? You didn't put this here? You got all the way up to here and found A and B? Yeah, make sure, because you get a point off. If it's 4 points, that's 75% of the question. you get and you lose 25%. Don't do that. All right, this one, I put in 5 for W, right? They want to know after the first 5 weeks. So I put in P of 5 is equal to 24,000. 1.063 raised to the 5th power. And if I did all that, I got 32,574 ants. Okay? They want to know if there was more or less 1,600. So there is an increase. So it's going to be more ants, right? We started with 24,000, and now we have over 32,000, so it's an increase. But we're going to subtract these. This is how many in 5 years. Right? So this became 8,574 in 5 weeks. And they want to know if the increase was more than 16 per week. So I'm going to divide this by 5. And I got 1,714.8 increase per week. Per week. So per week, which is more? So tomorrow on the quiz, you're going to have to plug a number into some exponential function, right? And then tell us what it means, right? That's what it meant. It meant there was 17,000, 8,000, there were 32,574 ants after 5 weeks. But they wanted to know for 1 week, so you divide by 5, and there were 1,714.8 increase per week. Okay, so you'll have to do a calculation and explain what that calculation means. Any questions? Oh, I can't wait.